Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. The guy opposite me is Tim, and this is the Second Legacy, and thank you for stopping by. Today, we've got some of our favorite style of episodes. We're going to do a little potluck. We've got itty bits of gun freedom and gun infringements. We're going to tie all together for a delicious dish, and we look forward to hearing the comments in below if you guys like it, or you just want to do one topic. But make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We would love to have you join us as we dispense freedom on the daily, and thank you so much for that consideration. And the content today is brought to you by LAS Concealment. We're going to say a quick word, and then we're going to hit this delicious dish that we have prepared for you today. And the content today is brought to you by LAS Concealment. And if you're in the market for a holster for your favorite freedom tool, LAS Concealment is worth a look. They have everything that you could imagine, all molded from Kydex to your said freedom tool. Everything is fit directly to that model for a superior comfort and safety. They have inside and outside the waistband options, multiple designs, all sorts of different colors, and they are tested by the world's most elite special forces. Make sure you check it out. There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to LAS Concealment for making this content possible. All right, so we're going to dive into this. Tim, we've got so many good things, all little nougats of delicious. I'm excited. How are you doing? You know what? I'm getting too ahead of myself. How are you doing, Tim? How's today for you?
It's hump day, man. I'm doing great.
It is hump day.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it through.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this through. We're gonna see freedom to the other side of this hill. I feel good about it.
Always steaming for the weekends.
Oh,
it's just this endless cycle, you know. It's like weekend's coming, it's coming, it's here, and then it's Monday.
It's here.
Weekend's coming, it's coming, it's
gone.
This endless cycle.
And it's gone. Yeah, it is an endless cycle. Particularly with these gun controllers, man. They love this. You think they do the same thing? Like, do you think just, you know, on an off chance, do you think they're like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, here's what we're going to do. Oh, that was a good week, Thursday, Friday. Look forward to more infringements on Monday. Yeah. Like, do you think they work on the weekends?
Yeah.
They have to work on the weekends.
Hog probably wakes up and goes, Monday, gun control.
Davey.
Yeah.
Monday, gun day.
You know, he's sitting there eating breakfast and he decides, you know, I think I'm going to make a post on Twitter about the history of the AR-15, in case you missed that one. It was really good.
That's a good one. Well, I mean, after all, he is a gun owner, and he does do training. Yeah. I saw a grouping he put up. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was not.
I think he claimed 20 yards, standing
with a rifle.
Mirror with a rifle. Yeah.
Okay. That's not what we're here for. That's not one of our dishes. Yeah, right. So, you know, we got to focus here, Tim.
Okay.
We can't waste people's time. So focus. So you get to choose the first dish here. We can dance with a travel advisory put forward for a blue gun control state. Mm-hmm. We can hit with the first millennial congressman putting forward some really excellent ideas on gun control. Or we can hit Democrats that are not allowing guards to be armed in San Francisco at the same time the crime wave is happening. What do you feel like would be a good appetizer? What are you feeling here?
Let's have some fun with San Francisco.
Oh, okay, that's a delicious one. In that case, let's set this up for the people. Mr. Producer, could you hit number 5? This is the first piece here. San Francisco Democrat under fire for ridiculous proposal to restrict gun use by security guards. So, Tim, I can see it. I totally understand. You're a security guard. There's a rise in crime. There's a falling of accountability and penalties. And there's a brazen criminal element that's just taking things in big mobs. Why would you want to be armed? That's irresponsible is what that is.
Don't do anything to stop this crime wave. You know, every day in the news, I read another account of another major brand leaving San Francisco proper. You know,
absolutely.
All the pharmaceutical or pharmacy companies, you have, you know, major brands. I just recently read, I think this last week, a hat company that's been there for like 100 years closed down its store. They're just one after another. They're leaving, and why are they leaving? Because the crime is so out of control. They're not charging people for theft. They're you know, catch and release. If you go out and do something as bad as commit a murder or a rape or something really, really horrible, there's a good chance you're going to find yourself back out on the street in short order, many times under your own recognizance with no bail. And this is forcing people out of the city. And on top of this, pouring insult into injury, they're now telling security guards you can do nothing to protect yourself for the store you're tasked and paid to protect.
Correct. And also, and more importantly, if your life is threatened, you still can't defend yourself because, after all, you have a duty to retreat.
Yes. And use harsh words, but we might have to restrict that a little bit because you can't say anything too offensive.
No, yeah, we can't be too offensive.
Yeah.
No, not during the commission of crimes because that would hurt criminals' feelings.
No. Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
You got to make sure you use the proper pronouns. You got to be sure that you don't accuse them of things that didn't, actually happen. You want to make sure that you handle them with kids' gloves. You can't really touch them.
Yeah.
Just kind of help them to the door with their newly found fortune and get them in their car and send them on their way, because that's what a good society does, apparently. I don't know.
That's true.
Seems to be working out well.
That's a good point, which is probably why everyone's leaving and everything's behind glass. Like, hey, can I have some razors for my shavers?
Yep.
No, you got to get behind the glass and get the key. Can I get some lotion? Yeah, no, you got to get the key. That sounds terrible. Well, good luck to them. The best of luck to them. I don't know if they're going to have many security guards left in San Francisco.
Yeah, maybe they can get some park rangers out of Oregon to volunteer or something. I don't know.
Or social workers.
After
all, we just really need some economic development and opportunities, which will prevent the criminals from criminaling.
You just came up with a perfect solution.
That's what it is.
Let's get the federal government to fund social workers and put them as security in every store in America. And we just print a few trillion dollars to do it. And then we can claim an economic boom and job creation.
Yes.
I mean, oh my gosh. This is brilliant.
Dude.
That's
better. Man, that's better than the French idea that we came up with when people were just like walking down the streets with guns that were banned, and it was like 75,000 euros for the GDP. I think that's actually better than that idea.
Absolutely. Here we're trying to help the French.
These gun controllers should really consult us.
Man.
They should consult us. We're onto something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the first bit of crazy. So Democrats in San Francisco, no guns for security guards, but keep on guarding stuff at risk of your life with a violent criminal element. So now, Tim, we've gotten the appetizer out of the way. I think the people are excited. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
We're energized. So what are we feeling next here? Because I think we're on the road here. Do we want a travel advisory for a blue state, or do we want to talk about Maxwell Frost and his gun solutions for military and civilian comparisons?
Yeah.
I get to pick this one.
Yeah, it's on you.
All right. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm a little partial to the first ever Gen Z congressman, Maxwell Frost from Florida, Central Florida. It's not my fault.
Yeah, Maxwell Tide Pod Frost. I know him. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I tell you what, let's let the clip speak for itself, and then we'll break this down. Mr. Producer, could you hit number 3 for me?
Mr. Speaker, right now, virtually anyone in our country can walk into a store and purchase a firearm they don't know how to use or store. I rise today in support of my amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act. It studies weapons training, safety, and storage standards in the military to see how we can implement them for civilians. Through our armed forces, the United States has developed a system capable of ensuring the safety and training of gun users. Look at all of the steps our service members must take before they can carry a gun. This is what our service members must go through before they can even lift up and pick a gun. Hundreds of people die every year from unintentional shootings. Why not take our military's best practices in firearm safety and apply them to civilians so we can reduce gun accidents and save lives? That's exactly what my amendment seeks to do, and I urge folks to support it. I yield back the balance of my time.
Tim, he brings up a good point. Why can't we just do something as simple and common sense as use those standards, of which, by the way, I'm going to zoom in on in a second, for civilian use?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what? Why? That's what I ask.
Anybody that's ever served in the military will quickly tell you that probably some of the craziest gun handling you'll ever see is in the military.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a perfect example of government entities mucking things up as they always do. And it's just absolute insanity listening to this guy stand up there and say, we're going to study our own military. We don't understand our own military. We're going to study our own military. We're going to allocate money. We don't. Give me more money, because they always want money and taxes. Give me money so I can study the military, so I can then implement the safety standards that they use on all civilians.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, after all, Tim, we are talking common sense. And this is, I don't know if you noticed, but this is the first Gen Z congressional person. I mean, I don't. That's really high to highlight. They're the fresh new faces.
Yes.
This is very fresh.
Fresh new, clean faces.
Very good.
Tide Pods.
Very good.
Yes.
Exactly. So now let's. I'm going to be fair to the first Gen Z congressional or congressman. Number 4, Mr. Producer. Let's look at the tweet. This is from his actual account. Our nation, through its armed forces, has effectively developed and created a system capable of ensuring the safety and training of gun users. It's time we take that knowledge and apply it outside the military to our communities so we can save lives. So that's to prove the validation. This is actually his account. Now, let's do a little zoom in, shall we, Tim?
Yes.
Number 7, Mr. Producer. Let me just run through a few of these. We're just going to stop as you see me. Full background check. Okay. What's a full background check mean, Tim? Because I was under the impression that the NICS background check system from the FBI was at every single gun store and every single sale, and they're audited, and the FBI says has proceed, deny, or delay. I'm pretty sure the background check system is already a point of contention.
Not only that, we have NICS and fix NICS. But apparently we need fix.
We did fix the NICS.
Fix NICS. We need to fix
We did
NICS.
fix the NICS.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. So we already kind of have that. So that's interesting.
It's just money, dude. We can always print more.
It is.
Come on.
It is. But it's not about rights. It's about money.
This is getting annoying.
So weeks of preliminary education. Weeks. Tim, what could weeks of preliminary education mean? Like mandated training before ownership? You mean something like that?
I like weeks. I mean, it's just weeks. 52 weeks,
well, I mean,
2 weeks.
52 of them.
I mean,
2 of them. Yeah,
we need weeks.
A lot of ambiguity there.
You know, and the more weeks
we
pile on, we just print a little more money and employ a few more people, and we fix the economy. And we have implemented military-style firearms training to the entire population. What could go wrong?
You are on it. But hey, Tim, hold on. There's more weeks. Now we have weeks of supervised firing. Weeks of supervised firing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing.
7 years. Okay, that's a few weeks.
How long have you trained for it?
You're not ready to use that yet.
The whole time. Weeks of scenario training, Tim. And again, this is all before you can buy a gun.
Yeah, scenario training. Like they're going to teach room clearing and military tactics, like fire team rushes and okay, cool. Yeah,
because that wouldn't be a thing. So that's that. Weapons locked in storage. So now we've managed to sneak in a mandatory storage bill.
Yeah.
That's okay. This is probably one of my favorites. Weapons logged when in use. So when you want to carry your firearm for self-defense or have a firearm for self-defense in your home, make sure you fill out the logbook with your sergeant at arms in your house.
Yeah, we'll know
so that we know.
We'll print some money.
Yes.
We'll create a website, kind of like the Obamacare website. It'll be flawless at launch. And then people will, when you take your gun out, you just log onto the website. We'll create a phone app. It's just money. And we'll create a phone app, and then you'll log in, put your serial number in, take a picture of yourself so we know what you look like that day, and then just log yourself in. And then when you put your gun back in the safe, log yourself out. It's out. I mean, just common sense. It's common sense.
You know what, Tim? It's this kind of thinking. That would get us somewhere.
I know.
I like that.
And job creation. Right. Somebody's got to build the website.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to print the money.
Yep.
I mean, it's win-win.
Exactly. You're really financially focused.
I am.
I don't know why, but I feel like you have a finance degree right now.
$32 trillion in debt. I mean.
So we might as well just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quadzillion here, quadzillion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. Go ahead.
Before you know it. So ammunition stored separately, that's mandated. Okay, well, most gun owners, by the way, would recommend you store your ammunition separately. I'm just saying.
I store mine in my magazine.
Well, I mean, other than the magazines, of course, but your excess ammunition for backup
excess
purposes.
Ammunition can really be a problem.
Yeah.
Boxes of ammo just sometimes jump up, load themselves into magazines, into guns, and then run down the street shooting people. It's unbelievable. We really have to regulate the unused ammunition.
It's a problem.
Got to lock that stuff up because you just never know when it's going to do something.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
exactly. And the last one. Yes. And the last one to wrap. Man, you are like a rabbit right now. All right. Annual requalification.
No.
Every single. So now here's my question, Tim.
Yeah.
We've got weeks of preliminary education, weeks of supervised firing, weeks of scenario training. How many weeks is this before you have to do the entire thing over? It's almost like this is training in perpetuity. Almost. Yeah. Like it's a requirement that you consistently have to do this.
He left out the tax scheme to fund all this. I mean, plus we can generate taxes with this. It's all good. I mean, this just seems totally reasonable. I mean, what could go wrong? And annual requalifications. Yeah. I mean, they've been saying for a long time. Look what you have to do to drive a car. I haven't taken a driver's license test in years. I just keep going in and getting a new driver's license whenever it expires.
Don't say that on the internet.
They really want to crack down on these gun things.
Yeah, you can't just be putting out that kind of reckless behavior on the internet. Goodness gracious.
I know.
It's insane. Well, but now that we've dished out a heavy dose of sarcasm, it's painful. Legitimately, this is painful. Like, this is actually the idea that our congressional representative is putting forward.
Yeah. I'm sure people in the room, the few that showed up, were sitting there going...
Right. And on a separate note...
You're doing great.
You go, girl. You go, Queen Slay. All right. So on a separate note, before we go to our third dessert dish, why do congressmen bring visual aids like they're in elementary school? I've always wondered this,
and they're always
hilarious. They're like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, I need a big board because these people are the elected leaders of our nation. They need visual aids.
Do you remember back when they were, doing the last gun ban or assault weapons ban? I mean, they proposed it every year, every month. But you remember when they had the blue guns and it was all over the internet? It was, showing the different components of a gun. Yeah. The flippy thing that goes up, the barrel shroud.
The flippy thing. Oh, man. Well, Tim, we've come to the point now where we've gotten an amazing introduction with some Democrats in San Francisco with no guns for security guards.
Yeah.
We've brought the main entree of our Gen Z congressional representative, but now the dessert, this final finish. Check this out from National Gun Rights because a travel advisory has been issued for Massachusetts. Mr. Producer, could you throw number 1 up for me? The National Association for Gun Rights issues travel advisory for state of Massachusetts. This is the actual press release that they put. So if I go to number 2, listen to a few of the little goodies and the reason why. Check this out. Tim, I'm excited to hear your thoughts. From Boston, Massachusetts, the National Association of Gun Rights has issued a travel advisory for gun owners to and within Massachusetts in response to the state legislator's 140-page bill, House Docket 4420. It's a comprehensive gun control bill that would ostensibly ban more guns than any current law in the United States. Here's a few of the delicious garnish provisions. It updates the state definition of an assault-style firearm to ban almost all semi-automatic firearms.
Shocking.
Bans concealed carry of firearms. I didn't see it coming either. Bans concealed carry of firearms at private businesses unless expressly permitted. Retroactively compulsory registration of all firearms. Registration of all firearm magazines, feeding devices, and no grandfathering. Requires all feeding devices and magazines to have a serial number. Bans for anyone under the age of 21 from buying or carrying a semi-automatic shotgun or rifle. Lays out compulsory safe storage requirements. Changes the definition of firearm to include stun guns, puts more regulations on firearm dealers. Which do you want to dive into on that first?
That's just a whole cornucopia of mess. I mean, that's just that's just an anti-gunner's wet dream right there. They're just having a good time
100%.
with it. It'd be interesting to see if this one passes because the Supreme Court should have a field day with that one.
Oh, field day. Field day.
Yeah.
Like you have to do all these things. There's also mandatory training requirements. There's also written exams for rights.
Oh,
there's all sorts of
with
things.
Tide Pod. Maybe they're working together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Congressional Gen Z first congressional representative Maxwell Frost. That's right. Yeah, Tide Pod. So we've got a change to assault style firearm. This personally, Tim, this one right here was a total shock. I did not see this coming. Mm-hmm. They changed the definition of assault style firearm to ban almost all semi-automatic firearms. Tim, this was about common sense for assault rifles, but now all of a sudden it's all semi-autos. It's almost like an entire segment of the YouTube population was saying this forever.
Yeah, it's almost like we predicted this.
Almost.
Yeah.
And not just you and I, by the way. This is everybody. This isn't a Braden Tim thing.
No. This is we, the community.
If you've been on our side, this is us.
And how many times?
This is easy.
And how many times have you been on social media and they say nobody's coming for your guns?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, talk about living with your head under a rock. Either these people are just wildly stupid or malicious and lying on purpose. Neither one of them is acceptable. But that's who's driving this.
Yep, 100%. You got mandatory or compulsory. I love the word compulsory. That means you got to do it or you're going to have a penalty.
Yeah,
you're going to safely storage that bad boy.
Compulsory.
You're going to safely storage.
You're going to do this, so I'm going to do this. Yeah, that's the federal government right there, or in the state government.
Yeah, you made this decision. It's on you. I love magazines have a serial number. I wonder why they need a serial number on magazines.
Do you get to make up your own? Because I could have fun time with that. Can you imagine some pretty funny magazine serial numbers? Because I'm assuming it could be alphanumeric because serial numbers are.
It can really be anything you want.
Yeah.
I mean, really. But you have to register it, so you can't have duplicates. So the first people in Massachusetts to come up with the really good ones, they're the ones that get to keep the really good ones. I bet you they're going to create a black market of the really funny serial numbers. That's a good one.
I'll destroy my magazine. You can buy my serial number because I got a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I got a great one. It's like a trademarking for serial numbers. I love it. I love the compulsory. Oh, there it is again.
Compulsory. I love compulsory. When governments say compulsory, that's just so much fun.
what could go wrong? And it's of all firearms.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Compulsory registration. Those two words have never had any bad outcomes.
No.
Oh,
never.
man. Private businesses, unless expressly permitted. That little New York sensitive places action sneaking in here. But wait, hold on, Tim. This is important. I just really soaked this in. There's no grandfathering. That was like their favorite thing to say it was okay.
Right.
It was grandfathering.
Well, see, as the ebb and tide of gun control efforts shift, and they always do, sometimes they feel they have the political capital, so they'll come out and say the quiet parts out loud, and they'll when they don't feel like they have the political capital, they'll go, nobody's coming for your guns. We just want reasonable restrictions. We're not taking them away.
Grandfather thing.
Just common sense is all we're pushing for. And then when they think that they have the political capital because something horrible happens in the news or whatever, then all of a sudden you hear what they really want. Oh, wow, look, we got this tragedy. We want to ban everything. If it loads itself, it's gone. And we're going to register you, and you're a criminal for owning this. It's just unbelievable. These people are so predictable. And as you said,
oh, absolutely.
We in the community have been saying this is coming for a long time. And, we've been saying that you're lying to us when you say you don't want to take our guns away. And here we have proof yet again. And
shocking.
NAGR issued a travel advisory, which I think is funny in and of itself. I mean, this is I think it is too. I don't think that they're being serious with it. I don't know. I think that this is them ribbing the anti-gunners which do stupid stuff like that, right? Like, don't go to Florida because they're racist down there. We have, this group issued a travel Florida advisory for Florida because of Ron DeSantis, and we're going to... that's what they do. So this seems like them kind of mocking the far left by saying we're issuing a travel advisory. Because
that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking here. And kudos to them because it is 100%. Funny.
But so now we're kind of getting it a little more serious on the point. I think it's an interesting way of marketing, to be quite honest with you. If you're talking about trying to spread the news of some egregious bills, it's one thing to put out a press release that says, "Oh, Massachusetts is infringing on the rights again." Well, that's what they do.
Right.
That's what they do. But if you go, "Hey, remember that one time that the NAACP came out and put a travel advisory for Florida? Well, we're doing one for Massachusetts."
Right.
I mean, that's going to get a little bit more zing than they're infringing again.
Yeah. People are talking about it, even if it's tongue-in-cheek. Like, we're talking about it. They're going to talk about it. And like you said, it gets the attention. And so, like I said, kudos to them for what they're doing.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So overall, you guys out there watching, you guys tell us what you thought of the potluck. Was it delicious? Was it something lacking? Did it need more salt? You let us know in the comments field below. But overall, Tim, of the 3 stories, how would you rank these 3? What do you think? What do you think the most important is? The most egregious being number 1, the least egregious being number 3. What do you think here?
Egregious. Well, probably egregious would be the proposed national firearms changes that Tide Pod proposed. And then, of course, you have the state level egregiousness, right, that we just talked about. And then you have San Francisco just basically saying, security guards, joke's on you. Enjoy your job. We're not going to allow you to defend yourself or anybody else. Just show up and hope they don't kill you.
I'm going to be honest. I completely agree with that assessment. But hey, guys, you guys are watching. You tell us. Do you agree with Tim and I's egregious ranking? Let us know in the comments field below. And you know what, Tim? I don't want to step on your toes. You want to take us out?
Take it home.
That's kind of your gig.
All right. Yep, absolutely.
No, you do it.
Well, folks, hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to be part of our call-in show, there is a link in the video description below. Follow that link, and we'll get you on the show, especially if you have something that is contrary to what we've talked about or what we personally believe. If you believe gun control can work and that's something you want to see implemented, please come on the show. We'd like to talk to you. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon.